Lads, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I'm very aware of the fact that my Patreon plug in the intro to yesterday's video was a little bit abrasive, maybe a little bit aggressive, and came across as quite rude. So, honestly, I'm not even here to plug Patreon right now. I'm here to just apologize. Alright, now that I've got everyone back on my side, I am here to promote Patreon once again. You never expected that. I'm back, lads. Yes, we are here to promote Patreon, and I'm sorry, it's got to be done. Look, it's got to be done. As you can see, these videos are taking quite a while to edit and put together, and YouTube ad revenue ain't doing me any favors anytime soon. So Patreon is the GOAT way for me to make any form of an income off of this, and it is a great way to get involved in the community directly. Patreon will allow you access to this video, not only this video, the 50 or so, even more albums that we've already reacted to and put on Patreon, and then all of the albums that you will get going forward. A lot of big announcements to come over the next while. We've also got the Patreon podcast, which will run every single month, and you'll get access to all of that as well. So guys, patreon.com/DrewFortune if you'd like to support me directly as a creator, be much appreciated. Without any further ado, lads, that's all from me. You only have to put up with me for like a minute at the start of the video, and then obviously the rest of the video is still me, but it's not me being an annoying salesman. But here you go, lads, enjoy the video. It's also worth mentioning that this album was produced by Jesse Cash of Era and Brian Hood of Being as an Ocean. It's also the last album that featured Logan Forrest, who was the guitarist. He left the band in 2015, and I believe this vocalist is Ben English as opposed to Marcus, who is the current vocalist. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of those facts, it's just what I'm seeing online, but interesting to know. Alright, okay. That was honestly better than what I was expecting, to be honest. I was kind of thinking because it's an older album, it's their first studio album, and because a lot of people had said, you know, the production isn't as crisp as it is today, and maybe some similarities to the North Lane Singularity production, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's not going to be my favorite, but it sounds pretty sick so far. I think the main thing is that it still sounds like Invent Animate. It's not like I'm getting a taste of the band and their more modern music and then going back and feeling like I'm listening to something else, which I don't like. It still feels fairly consistent with their music today. Like, these open pockets of space is just so them. And then those keys just, Speaking of Jesse Cash, that actually sounded a lot like Jesse Cash. I see a fuck coming up. Didn't disappoint. Is this Jesse Cash? Almost sounds too close to his vocal style to not be him, and the fact that he produced it, did he just like throw himself on for a track? Yeah, it's featuring Jesse Cash. Yeah, perfect example here of that contrast. Yeah, and I've seen that this album is only like, what, 30 something minutes long as well, which is, to me, is like a sweet spot, which means there's not going to be a lot of fluff in the album. It's just straight into it, and you can hear it in the riffs, man. Like, even just straight into this, just no messing. A lot more engaging, especially if the individual songs are good. It just keeps you engaged for like 35 minutes. Some albums can drag and you're like, alright, okay, get on with it. be rude for me not to replay that. That was so unique. Where are they finding these guitarists so consistently? Like, this is their old guitarist. He's a fucking mutant as well. I'm a sucker for that kind of production just purely because of the background of music that I've come from, loving EDM. It just brings me right back in time hearing something like that. That's got to be something to do with moon phases. I'm guessing that it comes like full circle. What's a moon phase? I'm not into all these star sign shit or whatever this is. Moon phase. Am I just that smart that I figured that out by myself? Astronomers have broken down the cycle into 4 primary moon phases: new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. There are also, yeah, so it's essentially starting at one section and going 4 quarters and coming back to where it started, which, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, is what they've just done with the intro to this song from a guitar riff standpoint. And then it comes back, full circle, exact same. We're back to where we began. Genius. Well done, Drew. Pat on the back. Again, it's just small nuance that gets me, man. It's like, even here, that little stutter in the mix is just so cool. Dissonant guitars coming in just to break it up. Wow! Jesus, drummer sticking his head in and saying, "Don't forget about me, Drew. I'm still here, man." You could pinpoint any instrument in this band throughout any of the projects that I've heard and just really focus in on that one particular moment or that one particular element, and I'm so sorry. I've done it again. Okay, I'm bringing it back. I'm so sorry. I'm shutting up. Goodbye. Okay, I have clearance. Yeah, I need to stop talking in these atmospheric moments, but it just lends itself to speaking because it goes quiet and then gadoosh. But I haven't learned my lesson because I do this on so many tracks where I just fucking ruin. All right. Oh, got a wave of emotions there. Jesus. 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 This is where having the other camera will come in handy, because I can actually show off my goosebumps, which you can't see because the autofocus sucks on this camera. And they're kind of gone now anyway, but my hairs are standing up on my arm, guys. That was Invent Animate's Everchanger album.